door, y'all too? I said, why is that back door open? How long y'all car need to charge in the garage?
It charged really slow.
Shut up. Shut up, nigga. How long it's been charging?
Like an hour.
How long you need? Cause my car not finna sit outside the garage all night.
Come on, one night, bro. Please, I'm poor. They didn't pay us all of our money.
You need to calm down. I'm on live.
We're poor.
You're not poor.
Recently, Claressa went live while she was out driving in her car. Once she arrived back at her home, she chose not to end the live stream right away. Instead, she kept it going, seemingly allowing viewers to notice that Papoose was present at her house. I didn't catch the entire live session, only a few minutes leading up to the moment she got home. From what I observed, the comment section wasn't heavily focused on asking about Papoose. There were only a small number of remarks such as, "Where's Pap at?" or similar questions, but it wasn't a situation where the chat was overwhelmingly demanding answers. Overall, it seemed like just a couple of comments rather than anything significant enough to stand out against the larger audience watching the live. There was really no need for her to prove anything, but since Papoose was there, she seemed determined to make it clear to everyone watching. Her attitude came across like she wanted the audience to definitely see that he was at her home. When she arrived, she still didn't end the live stream. As she walked inside the house, things became even more noticeable. I'm not entirely sure who the male voice belonged to. It could have been her brother, but I can't say for certain since no face was shown. I only heard the voice. As soon as she stepped inside, she immediately made it known that she was still live, announcing it right away. Then almost instantly, the conversation shifted as people around her began asking her for money. It all happened very quickly, just as she entered, creating a chaotic and unexpected moment on the live stream.
I know. I told some of these girls, I said, listen, quit asking where Pap at. Y'all acting like y'all want to pounce on his thing. And that's not what's going on here. That's my job. Calm down. Right. I see a whole bunch of Pisces in the comments. Y'all know we love the lights. I'm like, I just walked in my room. Lights, dead ass is off. That's how it be. Like, I done scared so many folks. They walk in my room and be like, is you there? Is you? I know. I told some of these girls, I said, listen, quit asking where Pap at. Y'all acting like y'all want to pounce on him.
You could clearly hear him saying, "You need to pay us our money." He repeated it again, emphasizing it. You need to pay us our money. Now, who exactly us refers to isn't clear, but the moment itself is honestly pretty amusing. Right after that, she quickly jumped in, reminding everyone I'm on live, almost as if trying to stop the situation from being said out loud. It felt like she was warning them, basically saying not to continue that conversation on camera. But at that point, it was already happening. She had just walked into the house and they were already bringing up money. At the same time, she mentioned that her car was still outside because it couldn't go into the garage since his car was inside charging. So everything was happening all at once. Her just getting home, the live still running, and then this sudden demand for money being thrown into the moment. Honestly, you can't help but react to it. It felt almost unbelievable. I remember laughing so hard when I first saw the clip, thinking there was no way I couldn't make a video about this. That was the first moment, the initial time he brought up asking her for money. She then seemed intent on proving to her viewers that Papoose was actually upstairs, especially with all the "Where's Pap?" comments floating around. According to her, he was indeed there, and she felt the need to make it visible to everyone watching. So she headed upstairs to the bedroom, where he was found sitting in near total darkness. The room was barely lit, making it hard to clearly see anything at first glance. Claressa immediately started trying to explain or cover the situation, almost defending the setup in the moment. What followed upstairs only added more to the conversation and made the scene even more noticeable for viewers watching the live unfold.
I'm applying to be a manager, a boxing manager in Georgia.
I heard you did. I heard you. Good job.
I'm poor though. That's the bad part.
Can you get out?
Can I borrow $300?
Get out of my room. Here, take it downstairs. And y'all, he not poor. He said it as a joke.
Oh yeah, I'm not poor.
Get the fuck out before I kick you down the stairs.
Yeah,
She then stepped in and tried to frame the situation as if people online were implying that certain women were trying to pounce on him. But that wasn't really what viewers were getting at. The question, is Pap upstairs, wasn't about desire or anything like that. It was more about context, especially since it's commonly understood that they don't live together and he isn't around frequently. From the outside looking in, people were reacting to what they were actually seeing unfold. She arrives home to him being upstairs, sitting alone in a dark, closed-off room, while there are clearly other people in the house. It naturally raises questions about what the dynamic is when he's there. Is there interaction? Is he spending time with the family, getting familiar with them, or is he just isolated upstairs? Even in that moment, instead of any real engagement or activity, it felt like he was just separated from everyone else. When her sibling, or whoever that male voice belonged to, was asking about money earlier, it even made people wonder why there wasn't more normal interaction happening between everyone present. It wasn't necessarily about money itself, but more about the lack of connection in the environment. At the same time, she's on her way in, things are happening downstairs, and he's upstairs in a dark room, seemingly just lying there rather than being involved in anything going on. It didn't look like he was resting or sleeping either, just positioned there, removed from the rest of the activity in the house. I'm not saying it's something bad. Plenty of people prefer to keep to themselves, and that's completely fine. But the point is, she had family around, and he wasn't just sitting there alone, waiting for her to return. It just felt a bit off to me. It didn't really come across as natural or like a typical couple dynamic. You would expect some level of comfort, especially when you were at your partner's house, right? Even seeing that one of her rooms looked pretty empty before, it still adds to the overall odd feeling of the situation. Now there's another clip where he brings up money again. Just listen to what's being said. Claressa clearly doesn't seem fully comfortable with it, but she's trying to laugh it off and keep the mood light. At the same time, it feels like both of them should have been a bit more mindful of the situation. If there's something to discuss like that, it doesn't necessarily need to happen while she's actively on live. It would have made more sense to wait until she ended the stream, handle things privately, and avoid putting everything out in front of the viewers. That way, nothing gets misinterpreted or turned into a talking point online. Because once it's said on live, it becomes public, and then reactions are inevitable. Now, she's the one who's going to deal with all the comments and opinions afterward. She then tried to quickly explain the situation, saying Papoose wasn't actually being serious and that it was all just a joke, not that he was poor or anything like that. But by that point, the comment had already been made out loud on live, and it was hard to really take it back or soften it. Even if she probably would handled it privately and given him whatever was needed, the issue was more about the timing. Asking for money while she's actively on a live stream just didn't come off right in that moment, and that's what made viewers react. Meanwhile, Papoose was still upstairs in that dark room, laughing it off like nothing serious was happening. That contrast between the live situation downstairs and his relaxed vibe upstairs made the whole thing even more noticeable. Honestly, it turned into one of those awkward but funny moments you can't ignore. The whole scene felt a bit off, a bit chaotic, and unintentionally entertaining at the same time.